We're grateful for everybody who tunes in and watches our silliness. Try to keep up with what's going on. We enjoy our friendships that we get through YouTube and all that's associated with it. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, Dolly, thank you.
You were watching for us, weren't you, Dolly?
Oh, wow. What a day. We kind of look a little tired.
It's been a busy day.
So it's 5 o'clock. And we...
At least 5 o'clock in our time zone.
Began chickens at 9 this morning.
Oh.
But we never stopped preparing the entire week.
It's after chores.
After chores.
Yeah. The people who were coming to help started showing up just before 9.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Austin was here a bit earlier. We had an opportunity, he and us, is it us or we? I don't know. My
too tired to care anymore.
To get some turkeys, fully grown turkeys for $25 each, ready to go. Mutual friend who had them. So anyway, long story, Austin had to go pick them up this morning because
they get in the tree at night.
Yeah, they sleep in the trees at night, and the individual has them as a school teacher who we couldn't go get him tomorrow because he's deer hunting tomorrow, but he leaves too early in the morning, and by the time he gets home in the evening, they're back in the trees. So the only time to get him was before he left for school, and Austin went and did that this morning.
Oh, so Jim, you need to make her moderator. Do you know how? We were supposed to look that up.
Yes, I'll work on that while Rita's talking.
So hello to Christy and to Duncan 1900. And it's just been a pretty incredible day today. This is the first time in the history of our processing chickens that we have ever had help. And we had 8 adults and 2 tweens that were there and hauling chickens and taking every station. We had 97 chickens to get through and 5 turkeys, and it was amazing. It was amazing to have that much help. And we finished in a little less than 4 hours the chickens. Then we started the turkeys, but we let everyone leave. One of the wives who didn't come and help with that brought us over a meal to eat. That is the power of community.
Which we'll probably talk about a little bit more.
I was supposed to have you.
I'll have to turn on my computer to do that. I can't do it from my phone. So
really? I can turn on this.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, we were supposed to look that up.
It's been a hectic week, to say the least.
So much preparation was needed for this. And by the way, it turned out amazing. Now, today is a very cold day, which is
colder tonight, even.
Is a blessing if you are going to be doing chickens.
No flies.
But hands and feet pretty cold. The warmest place was inside the inside of the chicken, pulling out the innards. That was the best. So anyway, I don't even know where to start.
Well, let's just describe who all was here today. I mean, we had a good-sized crew. The families that were involved were everybody who was getting the chickens, plus one of them had their parents come, which, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We had 8 adults. 8 adults.
Yeah, 8 adults counting us.
That's what I already said that.
Oh, okay.
You were looking.
That's I was busy. And it was great to have that many, experienced people.
No. None of them had ever done a chicken. None of them.
Really?
None of them. They all just jumped in there. It was amazing. One of them only took off the feet and the head and got the windpipe ready and did the little gland on the back, but
that was enough. She wasn't
going in.
Yeah, it kind of freaked her out to do that.
It was the smell.
What was really impressive to me is that we had 100 chickens to do, and at the 4-hour mark, we were really finished.
Yeah.
Actually, prior to that, we had started doing some cleanup by that time, and it was just a few, like the last parts of things that had to be done. So it wasn't like we were having to move fast all the way up to the end. So it was
because it was so cold, we didn't worry about rushing them to the refrigerator.
Right. Well, what I've been told is that with a setup to where you have a single plucker machine, that really tends to regulate just how fast you can go. And so, 20 birds an hour is pretty much what you can expect if everything else is set up correctly, taking them through the plucker.
So we did more than that.
We did a little bit faster than that. So good crew. Very happy about that. It turned out very well. Now, do we want to change some things in the future? Yeah. Will we make it go faster? I don't know. It's still going to be the plucker is going to be part of the challenge is to have that able to go fairly quick. But overall, we were pleased. We were very pleased with how it went. Now, I know some of you who had suggested that some concern about the lights in there, and really with the sunlight coming in the ends, I mean, what you see on the camera and what it looks like in real life, probably go to settings. Do you want to talk?
Yeah.
Anyway, what you see in real life, it's a lot lighter. Well, before we got started this morning, when Austin first came over, we noticed the wind was coming out of the west and blowing through the shed where we were going to be. So we were concerned about that, and we put up some things to block the wind from coming through. Otherwise, it would have been really cold in there. Now that decreased the light a bit. So yeah, next time we're going to have some lights in there. That's for sure.
Trade me places. So anyway, what we're trying to do right now is warm up. So there's a little space here at our feet, and we're drinking hot chocolate because we've been cold for hours, and it's really hard to do that. Yes, many hands do make light work. Oh my word, it was so wonderful. I just kept telling these people how marvelous it was that they were there. So anyhow, so that is, we have all the chickens are in the freezer. I have to tell you a funny story. One of the people who brought their parents, she jumped right in. She'd never done evisceration. I was on evisceration. And so I taught her how, and I says, do you want to do it? She goes, I didn't come to stand around. So she's been doing it and doing it and doing it. And I finally I walked away, and I went to call her name, and I went, I don't even know her name. I do not even know who this person is who's been going in and cleaning out my chicken. So I walked over and I said, I'm so sorry, I don't know your name. And she goes, I don't know yours either. Well, now we've bonded over this chicken. So it was pretty fun to be able to do that. It's snowing. Dolly, where are you that it's snowing? How far away are you? Just the state.
She's in Washington.
She's in Washington. That's right. You're in Washington. You're snowing. We snowed last night, and tonight it's going to 15 degrees. 15 degrees. My sister, who lives in northern New Mexico, said it was 15 there last night with a wind chill and felt like 7. She had to be the school monitor today outside, and it was cold. So I guess it's deciding to be winter. I don't know who gave it permission to do that, but seasons. So Jim's working on something to make Dolly moderator.
I should have looked this up.
We should have, and I meant to, and I'm so sorry. Anyway, the other subject we wanted to talk about, if you guys have questions, just ask away, and we'll see what we can do. As you can see, we're all still bundled up, trying to get warm here. Last night, we went to a class by kind of the Extension Center, something like that. And it was on writing grant proposals for farms. And we actually came away going, okay, not for us right now, but it certainly gave us a lot of ideas. And let me just give you an idea of what a good grant proposal is. One is that they're going to be doing is we know that when you're growing elderberries or blackberries or berries like that, how many of the chickens are ours? 20, well, it's supposed to be 30. We had lost one, so we were down to 29, and we gave another one to this couple that just showed up to help us. So anyway, so if you're growing something like that, I guess really bad here or anywhere, especially in Missouri, are the Japanese beetles. So he wants to do a test to see if you put chicken tractors down the aisle or one on each corner of your field of the berries, and then you've put that funnel to catch the elderberries. I mean, no, catch the elderberries, catch the Japanese beetles that would fall right down into the chicken thing. He wants to do a study on that, and that would be something that he would get a grant for in order to do that. And so you have to have something that's already there that's existing, and you want to do something else to be able to see if something works. We don't have much existing right now. So in a couple of years, we'll be able to do things more. But anyway, one of them was growing something in a high tunnel versus a wallapini. Do you know what a wallapini is? It's like a buried greenhouse. And so they would grow the same vegetables or the same fruits and do them into different levels and kind of do research on them. So that's what we went to for the grant. I'm
going to have to do some more learning about this. This is...
Okay, just come and participate then. We'll
this is answering the wrong question.
just participate.
I'll participate. I'm looking things up about YouTube, and it's telling me how to do it on Facebook, and that's not working.
Okay.
So I'll have to do a little more research, learn how. So we'll get our act together, Dolly.
If I push these two dots right here, does it let us do one? No. Okay. What was another thing we wanted to talk about?
Well, from the standpoint of community, I mean, we have a few other things going on. We're going to talk about our wood shed that we're in the process of building, right? What were you going to say about it?
Well, in our newsletter that we just had come out, we talked about that today, that we have another group of people who are coming over and chopping up with their green chainsaws.
It's actually a youth group.
So, no, it's not, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but they have to have adults.
Okay.
Adults are going to run the chainsaws.
Okay. Anyway, they're coming over and cutting up all of the trees that have fallen down. Typically
what they do is they select a few families each year, and they go supply them wood. They go somewhere and they cut down the wood. Well, in our case, here, we have some down trees, some that are on fences and so forth that we haven't got to yet, that they're going to come over, clean that up, and turn it into firewood. So.
Christy says that she's never turned a chicken into a freezer can before. She just has layers.
Uh-huh. Well, we like to eat chicken, so it's one of those things.
So Dolly says that she is feeling her age with wood chopping.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, so we are just so grateful for this opportunity to have them come out and fill our woodshed. So we're building a woodshed. I've made one part of the video on it, and tomorrow, barring freezing to death, we're going to work on completing that woodshed because it has to be completed by the next Saturday when they're coming over to fill it up.
Yeah, we got started on it, and we ran out of sunlight, and
Screws. Oh, bits.
Our bits got to the point they weren't driving the screws anymore. They were all tore up. So we had to go buy stuff. And so by the time we got around to doing that, then there were other pressing projects. We'll get to it this next week.
Can you trade places with me again so I can read?
Well, you can't read?
No. I crossed over you.
Gotcha.
Musical chairs.
Yeah. Hey, we're mobile. Anyway, that's the other part of community is that, people who are looking for opportunities to help out and just coming here to do that. So it's great.
I'm excited about this comment because we learned about these last night. This person, Ron, uses the 50-foot caterpillars instead of the high tunnels.
Yes.
And that was one of the grant proposals that had been done in 2016. And the guy came last night and showed all of his research.
Yeah, what he was looking at was for different colors of covers for the caterpillars with different fabric types as well get involved in that. And he wanted to know, he was doing like a 50% rating on the shade of them. They use shade cloths is what he was using. And
all different colors.
Yeah, different. He had a white, red, black, and it was like what was the other one?
Well, it was a white, but it was a different fabric than the first one.
Yeah. Anyway, he tested those over a 2-year period of time to see which ones did better all 4 seasons. He had been using them everything but summer. He hadn't really used them in summer, but he wanted to test and see if he could use them as a 4-season protector, because there are some plants that too much sunlight is a problem for.
So, Ron, you are right. The grant will not pay for your caterpillars, but
although in his
case, they paid for 50% to go along with his experiment,
right?
Because they wanted to know the
he
research.
had been using caterpillar tunnels, and what he wanted to demonstrate or to discover is which colors worked best. And as a result of that, they were willing to cost share on the different colored fabrics that he would use for that. So he was able to get some different fabrics paid for. So that was interesting. So it's really how you structure them. If you design it in a way, then you can get a little bit more help, which in his case, and as the results that he had was the black was better for all 4 seasons.
Well, I know, and he got it from Morgan Seeds.
And it was the least expensive of all the covers.
Super least expensive, and I'm like,
now how long were his caterpillars? They were like 150 feet long caterpillars. Is what he was doing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were 7 feet tall. They were hard to manipulate, but we do our caterpillars, and maybe Ron, maybe you do these, where it's so hard to explain, but you have.
Well, there's a lashing system where you
rope across, and you can actually take them and move them up. Get everything, and then you pull them back down, and it's almost like a curtain.
Yeah, this guy was using some sandbag system, and it was a lot more work and a lot harder to do things with them, which wasn't the experience we've had with caterpillars. So,
hello, Grateful Sunites. I haven't said hi to everyone. I just wanted to say thank you to Southern Ark Homestead. They think we're an adorable couple.
Oh, adorable!
Oh, cute!
Thank you. Oh, cute.
Cute. I have a lot of adorables sometimes.
Okay.
Let's see. Ron says they use 30% shade cloth on their caterpillars.
I think
for tender lettuces, we can grow lettuce in the south
how far
all
north
summer.
So you're in the south and you're using 30%. So how far south? I guess that's probably the question, because that, what your latitude is might influence that as well. But
that's great, because that's what he was doing too, was to show that he could grow them during the summer.
Yeah, it enabled him to grow some crops in the summer he hadn't been able to grow as successfully. And he's a market gardener.
He sells his greens to restaurants.
So he's got clients who expect him to be producing some things year round. So pretty competitive situation.
From West Virginia.
Anyway,
so Ron says we get all of our supplies and shade cloth from Deerfield Supplies in Kentucky. They're Amish. Very cheap. We use the tie downs on the caterpillars. Everything we do is on the cheap.
Yes,
good for like you.
All of us, right?
We need on the cheap.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to write that down.
Deerfield.
Deerfield. if I could find something to write with.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kind of lost all your writing utensils, huh?
Mm. Ah, found one. Okay.
So, anyway, it was very informative. We've really got our creative juices flowing about how to do things. One other thing we found out about, too, that applies more to starting farmers, which is really, I mean, we've done things other places, but we haven't here. We're just getting this going on. So, yeah, that classifies us as starting, is we are wiggling this computer. That's got to be wiggling the microphone, I think. Camera.
Okay.
But there's a group called Slow Money, and their website is slowmoney.org. It's a
you guys should know about this.
It's a group of investors. These are people who've made it. They have lots of money, but they want to give back, and
to farmers.
And they are motivated about really the slow food movement is what I'm guessing, but about people who are going back to the land and attempting to provide good food. And so they have a loan program for people doing that, and their expectations aren't real high. I mean, they suspect that maybe 1 in 10 of their loans are going to be successful. And, you know, it's not like they're expecting a payback. I mean, they are an investor, so, you know, a certain percentage of the income per month, per year, is probably what they're expecting. So if nothing comes in, then that's just how it is. But they understand that there are a lot of challenges getting a new farm started. And so, anyway, it's a good source for new farmers. So it's an avenue, because, you know, for applying for a lot of the grants from places like SARE, you have to be an existing farmer, you have something going on, and there is a problem or a challenge or something you want to test, and then you can get a grant to go and do that testing. Well, an avenue is to go to a place like this Slow Money, get yourself started with a program, and then in order to expand it, because unless you're doing some tried and true formula, which few of us really get to do that, because our farm, our climate, our whatever we're trying to grow, there's some uniqueness there to where you can't just follow anybody's formula. There may be some parts of it, but you're going to be guessing, you're going to be experimenting, you're going to be taking a risk. And so getting a SARE grant to help fund that risk and prove whether or not something works is a great opportunity.
So I think we have a little bit of a conversation going on here that we can maybe be of a help to, because Southern Arc Homestead wants to know more about the shade cloth and wants to understand how it's used. And I love the idea of being able to grow greens in the summer. And
there's a couple of things about it. I mean, each season it's accomplishing something different. During the winter, it increases the temperature in the soil, which means, and in fact, he was saying it's like 7 degrees change, increase in the soil temperatures, which means
decrease in the summer.
Decrease in the summer, but an increase in the winter. So you're able to get things to grow that typically wouldn't grow because the soil is just too cold.
And a caterpillar tunnel, all you're doing is you're taking hoops, and he does 1.5 inch PVC 20 feet.
Yep.
And he puts them down into rebar on his thing. And they're 7 feet tall in the middle. So that would let you know how far apart he has them. Oh, he say 14, didn't he?
It's 7 foot tall and 14 wide, which makes sense.
And
Radius,
so all
diameter.
He's doing is taking the PVC and sticking it into the rebar. Then he takes the shade cloth and puts it on, and you tie it at the end into a little knot.
And I will say this, even when you have wind, if you follow the right procedures for fastening it down,
it will not move.
And you have the sides fastened down, we have some pretty high winds would hit it and not cause a problem. But once again, the advantages are in the winter, it's going to increase the temperature inside, protect it from winds so that things can grow. It's a season extender. You can get 2 weeks or a month, depending on where you are and what your weather happens to be. But also keep in mind, typically, what happens with your weather is that you'll have a really cold spell and then it warms back up. So this gives you enough protection to survive that cold spell and then take advantage of the warmer time, whether it's fall or spring. And then in the winter, the cold weather crops get enough protection that they can handle it. In the summer, what it's going to do is decrease the temperatures that are going on and decrease how much sun. Sometimes it's too much sun, and the shade cloth then decreases that. So this isn't for every crop. Some crops need the full sun, so you got to put the right crops in it. But for crops that are like lettuce, very hard to grow in the hot part of the summer. Impossible. This particular guy has been able to grow some types of lettuce on into the summer because he's decreasing the temperatures and the amount of sun.
Ron said that he's just finished a class. I am just out of the Rose Creek Farms Master Lettuce class. Lots of information for growing in the South as they are near Memphis.
Okay.
So that's great. I'm anything we can do to share with each other to be able to grow longer, better, more.
Yeah. One of the realities of growing, especially vegetables, is that it's very local. And getting information, if you're in Tennessee, getting information from Maine, there may be some things you can pick up from that, but a lot of it's not going to apply to you. You need to get local people.
Yeah, and that's why I'm really excited to learn about things in the South. I want to say hi to a few people. Peaceful Inspiration, thank you for joining us. And hi to Laura. And Laura, our harvest went very well. I know that you had asked how it did. And just after this is over, go back because we talked about it extensively in the beginning. Hello to Colleen. And
now, did you mention in addition to the chickens that Austin and us did 5 turkeys?
Well, I know that Dolly was letting her know that. So, yeah. 97 chickens, 5 turkeys. Yeah. All done.
A little bit of cleanup left to do, but we're tired. It's cold, and we have
getting colder.
We have other things.
And you were important. We needed to come to you.
And the cleanup it's out of the way. Nobody can see it. We don't have to worry about it, and we'll get around to it later. I don't like to do that, but in this case, we got to move on.
Let's see. Ron says we also use the caterpillars for season extension in the winter.
Yep.
We normally grow 50 weeks a year. Nice.
Wow.
So
which zone are you in, Ron?
I'm betting they're in 7.
I think so.
I bet you're in 7. Anyway, yeah, that is.
Now, for those who are just starting to learn about high tunnels and caterpillars, one of the differences is the volume of air in the tunnels affects how long it will hold its temperature, whether it's cold or hot. When you have a caterpillar, it's going to heat up faster, but it's not going to hold it as long. If you have a high tunnel, it's going to hold on to the cold longer, but once you get it warm, it's going to keep it warm longer. For instance, this individual that we went to see, he has, in addition to his caterpillars, which he's moved away from in favor of high tunnels, he has one high tunnel that was
180 feet long, 34 feet wide, 180 feet long, which makes its own weather pattern.
Yeah,
they said.
I mean, it holds on, single membrane on it, so it's not like the double inflated plastic that's on it, but it holds the temperature very well. Now, he says it takes a while for it to heat up, so it's not going to get warm first thing in the morning, but by the time it does get warm, it can hang on to it through the night fairly well, which is fantastic, which is what you want.
Growing, she's still getting her tomatoes in California. Laura is.
Yep.
My green tomatoes, I've been so surprised. I picked the green tomatoes when it was going to freeze and then quickly neglected them in the basket in the garage. And I went out there and they've just turned red. And usually I don't think they're very good when they do that. And these are so sweet, so sweet. They've been amazing.
Cold temperatures do that to a lot of different plants.
Ron's in 7A.
7A.
That's what I figured.
Okay.
We are in 6A. We are in, like at the top of Missouri is 6A, and then it goes to 6B, and then around Springfield and where we are, it's in 6A again, and it
A
kind of
little
goes
higher elevation.
goes
is what
into
we
this
are.
dip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Let's see.
Which, once again, you know, it comes down to local. I mean, sometimes regional's not good enough for information to be accurate for you.
Yeah.
So,
no, I totally
I mean,
agree.
a lot of people get frustrated by attempts to grow certain things that just don't work out, and the timing isn't right, and so forth. And what they may not be doing is growing based on their specific local climate that they have. And there can be microclimates, even on your own property, depending on your lay of your land and so forth. You can have pockets that are warmer or colder or windier or whatever it might be. It's going to change your climate somewhat. So you've got to adapt to that. So it's always a learning experience.
So somebody just asked Dolly if she was Esther's sister. Dolly said yes. We're very excited about it. Okay. Ron said, your latitude is the same as South Central Kentucky. We have been watching your temperatures carefully, considering a move to your of the woods.
Okay.
Yeah, we just found a really, hey, anybody out there, there is a piece of property that's 13 miles from us. They're advertising it for $60,000. We are pretty sure you can get it for 50 or even 40,000.
It's got some
10
old
acres
barns on it.
It's got really old barns and an old mobile home, but it has a well. It has 2 ponds.
I'm going to suggest the mobile home probably needs.
Oh, no, they need to be taken out.
Okay.
I'm just saying, but it's already got the well and the electric and 2 ponds and 10 acres. And
but they're asking 60, and you know.
So anybody that wants to know about that, 150 days
by now. So you know they could
yeah.
probably. But what was the other one we heard about too? I mean, these are just examples. Okay,
125,000 for a home with a
3-bedroom
barn,
home.
a 3-bedroom home with a barn, 15 acres, and that's just a little ways from us.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're out there. Okay. Conversations going on here. This is fun. You're sitting with your kitty who had surgery. Oh. Sorry about that.
You know, that's a good thing to share. You want to talk about Oliver? We're experimenting, but I think it's going well. He's enjoying it.
Maybe. I don't know if his tummy's enjoying it.
I think it is. I just think he had a bad day.
Our dog has been itching beyond belief. Now, it's a white dog. And if you know anything about white dogs, when they itch, they bite themselves. Well, their saliva turns their hair red. He is red because he's had so much itching. It's just been miserable to watch him. So we were going to take him to the vet, and Jim looked it up and he said, you know, people go and spend tons of money on the vet, and this is the problem, and it's usually the dog food. We've been paying for really high-priced dog food, but since we changed, I think that's when he started itching.
We started thinking about the timing of changing to this better dog food is about the time he started itching. So we think that's what's going on. So it's maybe diet-induced.
I love Ron.
What?
He's 70 and 72.
There you go, Ron. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
We love that. We love that.
Well, you know, none of us want to quit. Why would we quit? This is enjoyable stuff. So.
Wow, that's awesome. That's so awesome. Okay. I'm trying to read here.
Okay.
Grateful Sunnites and Dolly are having a conversation.
Wow. They have some common
connections. They do have some
yeah.
common connections there. Here's one I don't know. I can't. Vid? Is it Vid? Oh, from the UK. Will you grow some leeks next year?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
We love leeks, and I haven't got a chance to see it yet, but
Jam
40 Air just came out with a video on how to plant leeks, and I know there's a special way to do it.
We've planted them. We've worked
We
with them.
love leeks.
And we've had some success,
Yep.
especially while we were in Oregon. We like some of the results we've seen JM suggest that he has, and so we want to use his techniques.
Put him on pumpkin and rice? Like cooked pumpkin?
Seriously.
Like, would it be pumpkin and rice?
Well, the advice that we got was real food, essentially raw food, a lot of it, but not the dog food. The stuff that's in there sometimes is lacking what they need. So their gut health is off, and all over it's off, and they start having these skin problems, and that's what's going on.
Okay, so let me go back to answer the question about leeks. So yes, they are not as popular here. They're extremely popular in my life. I love leeks. And
so many ways to use
one of my favorite things to do with leeks is potato leek soup. I make an incredible potato leek soup.
It's true. It's true. It's legendary.
In Europe, they are probably more popular than they are here, because I have several friends that I said,
we need to change that.
I said, are you growing leeks? And they're like, I don't know. What are leeks? And I'm like, oh, they're such a marvelous, marvelous vegetable. I mean, they're like a mild onion, but they're just, we saute them in our breakfast eggs. We love leeks. So yes.
Well, several years ago when I was just 20, I was in Pennsylvania, in the upper part of Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Southern Oregon.
And the family that I was living with in the spring, she went out along the creek banks and gathered leeks. And then she
Who did this?
The person whose house where I was living. That's what she did.
Wow.
She gathered wild leeks.
Okay, so they said this diet is good for tender tummies, but I bet it would help between food changes. So do I cook it like pureed pumpkin? I've been giving him yogurt. He likes yogurt. It's homemade.
Well, he keeps looking at us like, whoa, I beg for food and you never give it to me. What's going on? This is great.
You can dice it. Okay, and freeze it. Boiled chicken and rice, you could give him for months with a huge harvest like we just had. Yeah, we actually, one of the things it says we're supposed to feed him is the organ meat. So we harvested the hearts for him and some of the liver.
Yeah.
I like the livers. We like to make chicken liver and onions.
Yeah. So
yes, we did harvest it for him too.
So it's going to help us feed him a little bit. We'll see if he likes it. And if it doesn't, if it is as effective as everybody suggests, then it's going to be great for him. It's going to make him a lot more healthy.
Well, cool. All right. Hey, just put it out to the community and they'll fix everything.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to grow Brussels sprouts in my cat tunnel. We've had really
good. Is this Ron?
Nope. This is Deer Park Farmstead.
Deer Park.
We have had some really good luck with Brussels sprouts.
In Oregon, we did.
In Oregon and in Utah.
Yeah, we did, actually.
When we were there in southern Utah.
Yeah.
Huge things that we were able to grow.
You know what's interesting? We haven't done it into a second year of success. In both places, it was our first year. So where we've put all of the nutrients into the soil, we've put the compost, we've put the manure. In that first year, the Brussels sprouts did really well. I don't know if into the second year, if that's the case. And that's kind of, we need to get us a first year going with them and see what happens.
Does he have a new environmental pollen allergies? He certainly could. Because when we left here to go on vacation and took him with us, it wasn't.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah, no, it absolutely could be. I mean, he does get out.
So we are probably going to have to take him. Pretty please make a potato leek soup recipe video. Okay. Twist my arm. I will do that. I used to take it to work. I was a nurse for a home health agency in southern Utah, covered 9 little towns. And we would have days where we would all bring food. And I brought my potato leek soup, and it was the bomb. So it's such a comfort soup. It's
oh yeah. Leeks,
I bury it in cheese
what
too.
What leeks do to food is it's a background kind of flavor. It's really the basis of what's there, and it just it enhances it.
So wait,
ways.
you can't grow leeks in the north? Yes, you can. Is that what you're saying, Dolly? You live too northerly to grow leeks?
I mean, JM 40 years further north than you are, and he's
We
able to
grew
grow
them really well in Oregon. I bet you can, because he's in Quebec. Huh.
Well, you know, look for JM's video about how to do it. Maybe he's got some advice.
Yeah, it
that
came
can
out
work
yesterday, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
I mean, leeks are worth it.
Maybe I'll make it for lunch tomorrow. My dog was on allergy shots for years. Let's see. I use leeks instead of onions a lot. I slice them and freeze. Good in soups and casseroles. The more hardy varieties survive all winter outside here. So that's in England. So can have them fresh. Yeah, they do really well in the winter. We covered them and we would go harvest them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Do I put cream in it? Oh, yeah. And butter. It's decadent. So, yeah, it's really good. No, you can grow leeks, but not yams. Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, I know that's one of the jewels by living down here in the South is we grew our first sweet potatoes this year. Oh, so fun.
Yams or sweet potatoes?
We grew sweet potatoes, but I want to grow yams.
Okay.
Because I love yams. But these are orange sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Makes you think you.
Marianne is on.
Hi, Marianne.
We jumped a day. So we're getting some really good participation. Maybe we should do this on Friday instead of Thursday.
Yeah, it's a good day.
We'll have to see.
For sure. But,
we're going. So I just have to tell you, our house is cold unless we put the fireplace on or unless we have space heaters. And so yesterday we had the fireplace going and our house was toasty.
Fireplace does an amazing job.
It's got an insert in it. It's amazing. But today we were out in the barn shed thing doing the chickens. And so we didn't turn on the fireplace. And then, so I came in and turned on the space heater to warm up the kitchen because this person had brought over a meal for us. And so we all sat around the little space heater in the kitchen. But when we got out of bed this morning, we forgot to turn off the radiant heater that we had in our bedroom. So I walked in there tonight and went, oh, it's warm in here. So guess what? Friday night is date night. That's the way we keep together. We always have a date night. Always have had a date night for 45 years, 46 years. How long have we been married? 73, 70, 40, 45 years.
Yeah, it's good you can do math. It helps.
Anyway, so yeah, tonight's date night in a warm bedroom with a movie. So that's great. Cheap dates, but he's not a cheap date. We just have cheap dates that don't cost money. So.
Well, after a busy day like this, it's going to be nice to relax.
You grew one that's 3 inches long. A yam or a leek? Let's see. The earlier and earlier like this as it's earlier because it's 11:39 p.m. Well,
where?
In
England.
England. Yeah. We appreciate you staying up for us. You sent the kids to read in their rooms, and I need a little time to myself to chill. And boom, we're live. Perfect. Okay, well, we'll see. This was a good day for us to do it. Seems like on Thursday it always sneaks up on us, so we might try it. Everything's
typically Fridays aren't as crazy as today was for us, so this might be easier for us to do.
All right. Wow, we have 41 people watching. That's pretty amazing. Sweet potato. Thank you, Dolly. There was a guy at the farmer's market yesterday, or this last Saturday. His sweet potatoes, I am not exaggerating. His sweet potatoes were this long and big around. And I was talking to the guy next to him, and he said, this guy lives 50 miles west of us. Closer to Joplin. And because of the Dust Bowl in Kansas, whatever happened, that part of Missouri has loam and sandy soil and no rocks. And so he can just grow whoosh.
Wow.
And here we are 50 miles east of him and west east of him. We have lots of rocks.
Which is bad for
sweet potatoes.
Sweet
But
potatoes.
our sweet potatoes is amazing.
Well, we helped them.
We did. We dug a circle and put lots of good soil in there. All right. Oh, Dolly said, I like that. Christy, you grow sweet potatoes for me, and I'll grow Brussels sprouts for you. See, community.
There you go. It works out. Works out very well.
I've been getting in the 20s here in Deer Park, Washington. Had to put all my crops into cat tunnel.
Yeah.
Well, so I think maybe what we could do is show how the caterpillar tunnels work by doing our 50-foot one outside after we get it done, just to show how the ropes
how
go
we do
over.
the tie down.
Yeah, to show you how, because it's impossible to explain it. You have to see how it's done.
I'm sure somebody has the ability to explain it. It's just, it's one of those, a picture is worth 1,000 words situation. It is maybe 10,000 words. It's just, it's very simple, but explaining it, it's like.
And we actually learned it
hard to
on
get
a
the
video
picture.
from somebody.
Yeah, it's not something we made up, but we found it, we tried it, and we were very impressed with how well it worked.
So I just have a question for Ron. You said you're willing to share your knowledge. I wonder if we could maybe do like a webinar or something where you came on collaboration. I don't know how to get a hold of you, but let us just go to my, how do you go to Heartiness approach. Wait, what?
What do you want to do?
Email us.
Heartinessapproach@gmail.com.
Heartinessapproach@gmail.com. Whew. Yeah, I got chicken brain right now. So, no-till method. Yep, that's what we're doing. It depends if you're a visual learner. Yeah, I'm a visual learner. Ask him. So I have to haul him out to places on the farm and say, okay, this is what I see.
Or if we're rearranging the furniture, we can't just talk about put this here, put that there. We've actually got to move it so we know what it's going to look and feel like.
Well, that would be if we had furniture. We don't have furniture yet.
I'm remembering in the past. Time's coming again.
Yep, and we got invited over to somebody's house for Thanksgiving today, so we're not going to have it by ourselves. So anyway, okay, so Ron said he'll send us an email.
Cool.
And Marianne, what is your zone? She's California. She's perfect zone. She's zone perfection. Marianne's backyard is, every one of us need to covet that backyard. So anyway, all righty. We have been on for a good 45 to 50 minutes. We so appreciate everybody that's been on. It has been an amazing conversation. And there's another question. Will you grow in the tunnel over winter? Some people put their chickens in them. When we get the high tunnel.
There's some limitations on the high tunnel with us getting it through NRCS, is that we can't use it for other things other than growing crops that grow in the ground
for 3 years.
So during that 3 years, we have to be careful about how we use it. I'm certain if we're growing things in the spring, summer, and fall, and then have the chickens in there in the winter, that would be acceptable. It's certainly something that we're considering. It's a great place for them to be, and they would love it. That's for sure.
We will certainly put them in there too at the end of each season. But we have a wonderful barn, and we're putting stalls in it. We're just going to move their chicken tractor into the barn for the winter so that they're warm in there, and then they still free range.
Yeah, on the nasty weather days, they don't have to go outside, so it'll be fine. And but they'll be fairly well protected.
Marianne says hers is 7, 8, or 9. I'm not sure. It's just wonderful. That's why I said zone perfection.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We enjoyed you. We're going to go have a date now with my honey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your wonderful comments.
Oh, plus, we still have animals that need fed.
We do have to go do animals. Not any chickens in their tractor tonight. Yeah. Yay!
Just got to go feed the pigs who are
probably... they're in freezer camp. We don't have to take care of them.
Yeah, the pigs were talking to me before I came in for this.
Okay,
they were letting
go
me
take
know
care of
it's
your pigs.
time.
I will just say this. This was my injury. It was a pretty horrible cut. It happened after like the 37th chicken, so I did not get to help do a lot of the evisceration stuff on the rest of them. So, we had a PA there that was helping, and after I just had to keep going and adding bandages and gauze and bandages because it just kept coming through, I said I probably should have stitches. I finally got it to stop. I stuck it in my glove. I stuck it down in ice water to freeze it, and I got it to stop. And then when it was all over, he made me unwrap it and show it to him. And he goes, okay, you've done well. Yes, it should have had stitches, but if you keep it clean and straight, it'll be fine. So there you go.
Clean and straight.
Clean and straight. I'm doing well.
Now, what she needs to do is tell you what she was doing when it happened.
I was doing it wrong. I've been doing it on the table, and one of them had some poop coming out, so the other person turned it over the garbage, and I went like this in the air to get it cut and get it out, and poof, I was being stupid and careless. I admit it. Yeah.
I think she was tired of eviscerating one of these.
No, because evisceration is the warmest job you could do today.
it was a warm job. Yeah, that got me stepped in to do evisceration to get my
And I know, grateful tonight, Jennifer, you're the second person that's told me cayenne will make it stop bleeding. Now, does that not burn it to death? I don't know. Does it hurt super bad when you pour cayenne in an open wound?
Find out next time.
No, because soap and water. I came straight in and washed it with soap and water because I've been cutting this with a knife, chicken. And anyway, everybody. They're all saying good night. We're going to say good night.
Hey, thanks a lot for being part of it. We appreciate it. Enjoy you. Love you.
Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week, and we'll let you know if it's going to be Thursday or Friday. Okay. Bye-bye.